Good morning. This morning I'm reading from the book of Esther. Brave Esther. I love this story. I feel sorry for Esther. She's kind of caught. She's kind of trapped, or at least that's the way she feels. She feels like circumstances have placed her in a place, and she wants to do something to help her people because old Haman he's going to convince the king to pass a decree that the whole country can just kill the Jews off. And Mordecai is trying to convince her to tell the king, to get the king's ear and to let him know what has happened. And so in chapter 4 and verse 13, then Mordecai commanded to Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? You know, Esther, a lot like some of the other Jewish people, have wound up in a place that's very important in a Gentile ruler's house. Daniel would be another one. Joseph, although he's not technically a Jew, he would be another one, a descendant of Abraham, who winds up at a very prominent place in a Gentile ruler's kingdom and house. And that's what Mordecai is trying to help Esther understand. Esther, you see yourself as just, happenstance that this is where you are. But who knows? What if God's hand of providence has been at work positioning you at this place for this particular time? I can't help but think that for all of us as believers. Where are you right now? Where does God have you? You know, you and I, we kind of go through life saying that many times we are where we are because of circumstances. We were born in a certain place. Our family raised us in a particular place. We have a particular skill set, and so a job has taken us to a certain place. But maybe what we ought to do is look at things through the eyes that Mordecai is looking at things through, and step back and say, maybe God has orchestrated all these things so that he could place us at this particular position for this particular time. And of course, Esther, she calls for prayer and fasting because anybody who goes in to see the king uninvited, unless he holds out the golden scepter to you, well, you're going to be put to death. And so she says, then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan and fast for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. This is a courageous person here because she realizes that something must be done. And she's not going to she's not going to let fear hold her up from doing what should be done. We need a lot of courage as followers of Jesus. Many times we know the right thing to do, but we're afraid because there's consequences for doing that. Or at least we think there will be in our mind. And sometimes there will be. But Esther has come to a place where she says, if I perish, I perish. When we come to the New Testament, Jesus tells us this in Matthew chapter 10 and 28, fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. We should fear God more than we fear man. And that's where Esther has come to. She's going to do the right thing. If it costs her, it costs her. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I just want to encourage you right now. Where are you? Where does God have you specifically? I guarantee you, Ephesians 2:10 tells us that we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. God has a plan for you. Don't let fear hold you back from doing what you know God's calling you to do. Have a great day.